Um, so this is a normal video, it's more of a podcast video. We're gonna be talking about Naruto today, so get ready to have tons of fun. And before this video does start, first like, comment, subscribe. Second, whatever we say in this video is our opinion, so please, put down the pitchforks and everything. Other than that, do you want to start off on your opinions or like talk about your experiences with Naruto first, or should I? Okay, so with me, it started off on Cartoon Network, and it was whenever Toonami was first airing in Cartoon Network, because now it's on Toonami. Or no, it's on Adult Swim, but now it's on. It was back then. It was on Cartoon Network. For you guys don't know, we're both old-ish. Um, yeah, 90 kids. But I want to say, at first, I did not get into the show. Yeah, I know. Hear me out. So a lot of my friends were into it, and so of course, I was that one to fit into everyone, type person. I got into it because my friends convinced me to get into it, and it was the first season I didn't like. So like when they go to the land of the mist, I didn't like it. And then what's it called? So when they finally get to the Chunin dams and like Garo got introduced and like you see like more powers, I was like, okay, I'm kind of hooked on this. But what I really got into it was the original Ultimate Ninja games. That's how I mainly got into Naruto, and I'll touch back on it. Your turn. Which are all anime. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. So oh, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know. Like, I think what mainly spoiled it for me was like the Ultimate Ninja games, because my mom bought it for me one year for Christmas. It was like the Ultimate Ninja trilogy. So it had like the first couple seasons all the way up to when Sasuke left the village. And spoilers for people that haven't seen Naruto, even though it's like 20 years old now. So yeah, it went up from the very beginning, from Zabuza up to where Sasuke left, and that was my kind of gateway into Naruto. And I realized to this day, out of all my favorite characters was Rock Lee and Guy Sensei. They, yeah, they're just like so positive, and then like now this is where I'm gonna kind of get controversy, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. My least favorite. Okay. My least group of characters are the Hochihas. I can explain. I can explain. So the reason why I don't like them as much, like don't get me wrong, I think they're badasses. Like especially in the Ultimate Ninja games, I use some of them as like personal characters I fight as. Now, I don't like them because I know so many people that either have their name as Hochiha, have the robes, or like just like idolize the Hochihas. Now, no, the difference between you, because I guarantee you probably know their backstory. There's a line between the fans that know the backstory, know actually watch the series through and through, and then there's the ones that are like, "Oh my god, Itachi's my god." Yes, exactly, and it's like, and that's what kind of killed it for me. It's like when people are like, "Oh, who's better, Sasuke or Naruto?" And they're like, "Don't argue all day. Sasuke this, Sasuke this," and it's like, okay, but why? And it's like, oh, because he's a Uchiha. Um, okay, okay, okay. If I'm gonna say this right now, there might be minor spoilers. Okay, I think in Shippuden Naruto's stronger, but and hear me out. I think in Shippuden Naruto's stronger, but that may just because he's like Crotag-ish. But I think between both of them, I think Sasuke is willing to kill. And oh yeah, no, for sure. And then in Boruto, I just flat out think he's way stronger than Naruto. And then, oh, how spoiler are we going? Because am I allowed to talk about manga stuff? Okay. Okay. Well, in the manga, like they're fighting some new villain. Ah, I forgot his name, but Naruto had to literally have this failsafe, which apparently he could have used it against oh, was it Momoshiki? I think the one that yeah, and Baruto. He could have used it back then, and easily instantly took him out. But apparently this new form is so strong to the point where it shocked Sasuke, shocked Baruto, shocked the new villain, and apparently he's gonna kill him. Yeah. So if we're gonna be technical, Sasuke is technically stronger because he doesn't have a failsafe like that. Uh. Mm, he has a friendship jutsu. I got daddy issues too. Yeah, for real. Okay. Hold up. Now that you mentioned this, I got a hard one for you. Do you think Sasuke should have been forgiven? Oh yeah, what is your I'll back you up on whatever you're gonna say, but what is your direct like answer for this? Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Well, see, they made that episode where like it's like an alternate world where like the fourth live, and like it shows what happens if the Hochiyas are still alive. So in a way, it's like I agree with you, but at the same time, I feel like he really had to work. Like in my own opinion, have you read? Wait, hold on, have you read any of the side stories? Okay, so they did come up. Okay, so these are minor spoilers too, because like I said, Naruto's old as hell, and I personally I don't care. Um, they came out with like I think 4 or 5 like chapter books, and they're all side stories related to Shippuden slash going into Boruto. Eh, yeah. Oh well. Okay. Well, then you're gonna love this. Basically, so and towards the end of Shippuden, they did like one of the episodes, which is based on the light novel, where Sasuke is kind of like, and he went to some place and he's like fighting all these guys, and then Raikage comes, he's like, "Oh, you really changed." But from the light novel to the anime, the difference is Sasuke took off to this place. It's like a prison, and like he's a spy. Sakura follows him, and because she's a female nurse, he's getting all like he pretty much gets jealous and makes a ring out of metal. He's like, "Okay, I need you to wear this." So all the other prisoners, this is literally how they get married, by the way. So if you were expecting like something romantic, now you ain't getting here. So yeah, so he makes a ring out of like some metal, and like pretty much like you need to wear this, and like he was getting all jealous. And the only reason why he went to that prison is because apparently they were experimenting, making like these lizard like hybrid creature things. And then at the end of the novel, like he comes back to the village, and like by the time that happens, like it was like the day of Naruto's ceremony. Yeah, no, the wedding ceremony. Yeah, because at the end of the novel, he's like already like he's writing the note saying like congratulations and sending it off to the on the hawk thing. But from that novel, though, I do believe Sasuke does deserve to be redeemed because he went through a lot of crap. Oh, Sasuke. Okay, okay. See, the thing is too, and oh, I'm gonna get hate for this. I already know I'm gonna say it, but Naruto had multiple father figures. Jiraiya, Ruka Sensei, Kakashi, and then Granda Tsunade, which plot twist, she's technically part of his bloodline. Well, for those who are true fans, technically she is part of the bloodline. We'll get, yeah, we'll get into that later on, but I don't think Naruto suffered. I mean, I think he had. Oh, sorry. Here you go. I think he suffered when he was younger because he didn't realize what he had until he got older. And even now, here's the other argument I hear, and I know a lot of people get offended. They say a lot of his like suffering is because of the Uchihas, because of Toby or Madara or Obito or whatever. Whatever. Yeah. Uh, yeah, no, for sure. But Sasuke though, like, I believe he truly did suffer. Like, cause you're right, the third Hokage didn't pay attention to him because they just assumed he was naturally like gifted and matured. Even by Shippuden, he was ready by bad influences with Orochimaru. And then towards the end, he just went psycho. And then he finally redeemed himself when he got older. But Naruto got a wife at a young age. He basically adopted a whole other family and had 2 kids. So it's like, you know, at what point, like, you know, Sasuke never got any of that. And then his daughter, wait, okay, is his daughter confirmed to be what's her name's kid, or is it Sakura's? Yeah, she does. That's not her kid. You know, I feel like the writers did write it as that, and then they're like, last night they're like, oh wait, that's gonna make Sasuke's character development look like real shitty. Oh, they had to do something. Someone put ban list. Oh, okay. So I'm not playing Naruto, or I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. I just have it on the screen. We're actually talking about Naruto right now. So if y'all have any questions, join the conversation. Yes, please join the chat. No, I 100% agree with you because I mean, look at Naruto and Hinata. Like, was it less than a year after they got married? They got busy. Hmm. Oh, so the person that commented right now, they said they were, I guess, like an official Yu-Gi-Oh judge. That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I mean, all the cards I have on screen right now are just for fun. Like I said, I'm not actually playing, and even then, when I do play, it's for fun, not like official. I haven't done tournaments in years. But um, okay. So for my own opinion, I feel like they should have hired someone else to do that. Yeah. No, see, no. What's really shitty, and you really think about it, it's like he had a home and just never realized it. That's a very good question. You know what's even really fucked up? Now that you mention this, um, if you think about it, he in Shippuden he knew he had parents right towards the end. At any time he could have looked up his original address or like, you know, the Fort Kage's home or like, you know, his original home, and it's like he didn't move out until he found until he got Hinata, which. I mean, that could be a biased opinion. Of course, you know, maybe he like is comfortable living where he is or whatever. I don't know how Ninja Rent works, but um, at any time he could have easily like found out where he lived. No, even so I know this is like not technically canon or like not relevant or anything, but in like the Ultimate Ninja games, um so in the Ultimate Ninja games, like Naruto's like house, like his little apartment, it's like I think like 2 blocks down from the fourth Kage's house. And you told me this whole time. So you're telling me it just makes me mad that this whole time, like, they could have easily told him, like, oh, that's for the fourth lift. Like, anyone could be like, oh, that's for the great fourth lift, or anyone could have said something like that. But it's like, no. Yeah. Let's see. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Well, oh yeah, they would have. Yeah, they would have. Well, that's pretty much what That's pretty much what happens in when Itachi gets introduced. Also, the person that commented right now, I do recommend watching Shippuden. I think if any, the original is very nostalgic, but Shippuden gets really good. And DBZ is always a classic. But no, yeah, like if you think about it, that's what Itachi did. He literally walked into some random place and he's like, "Oh, I heard Naruto was here." Boom. Well, okay, so like, okay, that's the other question I have because like, true, but like, when did the Koski like first get made? Because isn't like Nagato like, well, no, because Nagato is only like a couple years old. Isn't he like only like 10 years older than Naruto? Oh, that's very true. And then they all got like the things in them. Um, okay, because I know it's during the third Great Ninja War, and if obviously Itachi's part of it. Oh crap! So that means they had to be whenever Naruto and Sasuke were babies. Ooh. No, okay. When Itachi was oh crap! I know this. 'Cause I remember this episode. Itachi was like, I think he was like 12 when he was Anbu. Okay. Yeah, younger than Kakashi. Because by the time he joined, I think Itachi was, or no, Kakashi was already like mid-teens. True. Yeah, because I know they're not for sure. I know for sure they're not like that far from each other. But like, I think what throws me off too about certain Naruto characters, either they don't look like they're aging, or they're not aging for a reason. And oh no, that's a whole other thing. And then like now they're apparently within okay, this is off topic, but Pokemon Journeys apparently they're making it where everything happened, and it's like now he's not even bothering to try to become a Pokemon master. He's just kind of going along with the journey. Uh, uh, okay, you know what? I can vouch for that. Pokemon Sun and Moon was actually good. I liked it. If I know I legit liked it. Like if I compare it to the original, which the original is nostalgia, but I really like the art style from Sun and Moon. It's very animated. I watched the first two seasons and then the last two, like I just completely like fell off. But no, I recommend Sun and Moon because hell, Sun and Moon got on the news because Ash actually won a championship. No, like okay, this is completely off topic, but whatever. It's my podcast. Um, no, even like ESPN like went like announced to the world, Ash Ketchum finally won a Pokemon championship. But okay, so I pulled up something right now on Google. I'm gonna name like the major arcs in Naruto, and I want you to rate them because you're a bigger Naruto fan than me. Okay, so this is season 1, episode 1 through episode 19, the Land of the Waves. So like Zabuza, Haku, and all them. What would you rate it? Yeah, from 1 to 10. 10 being the best. I'm gonna give it a 3. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. So the reason why I'm giving it such a low score because this art traumatized me as a kid. Hear me out. I thought Haku was a chick. I was like, and it turned out to be a boy, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with myself? Was it the was it the one where like Haku's like picking flowers and like first meets Naruto? I remember. I thought it was a chick. I was like, oh, she's kind of cute. 9-year-old me. I might need to look this up. Okay, so next arc is Chunin Exam. This goes from episode 20 to episode 63. So this is like from when the Chunin Exam first starts and they're training all the way up to where I want to. No, that's not. That's coming up. This goes up to where so pretty much we're before the village gets attacked. Yeah, so I want to say it was long. It was like one of the first longest arcs, and I don't know. Like I felt like Naruto was useless up to where the second exam or the third exam happened. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, no. Well, this is also. I was gonna pause real quick. This is also when we start getting introduced to like seeing the other characters fight too, and then we get introduced to Rock Lee, Guy Sensei, all them. Oh, character development. I mean, it was, I don't know, the whole Eno fight with her, like, it was supposed to be a big moment because they were rivals, whatever, but it was stupid. It was stupid. It was like over a guy. Really didn't. Um. Oh, that carried it. That carried it. And I'm gonna give it. If I had to rate that Pacific fight, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because it's like it really. That's when you first see like Gara fucking vulnerable. Like it's like oh shit, I could get hit. Yeah. Also, guys, I was gonna say also, guys, if we're on this specific arc for a minute, it's because it's at least 40 episodes long. Because in original Naruto, they did carry out the arcs very long. So what were you gonna say? Okay, so if we're talking about the second exam, because I honestly forgot about the whole like cheating exam part. Like I thought that was I could care less about it, but and then the Force of Death was interesting, but what killed it for me was when Naruto farted in Kiba's face. Fart no jutsu. Yeah, no. The thing is too, like they redo it in Shippuden. Like I don't know exactly which episode it is, but it's like it's Kiba, Naruto, Hinata, and like Kakashi, and they're jumping trees or whatever. And then I think this is like right after he either gets Sage Mode or he gets like his Nine Tails form. But like Naruto's like, oh, I could like Kiba's talking about how he wants to get stronger than Naruto, or whatever. And Naruto's being immature, like, oh, you're not gonna be able to pass me. And then like literally farts in his face and takes off running. I could look up the clip, and I will send it to you later after this video. So now we're at the third part of the. I guess we'll say like Act 3 of the Chunin Exam. I thought it was badass. Like this, the whole thing right there. Okay, first, jail time. Okay, so again, we're not playing not playing Yu-Gi-Oh. We're talking about Naruto, guys. For those that are joining, I thought Neji was a prick. I thought, excuse my language, but I thought he was a fucking prick because he's like, oh, Destiny this. He literally treated Hinata like shit, and it's like, but I learned, yeah. Which I will touch on the Hugos later because like this is gonna be a decent long. Someone that said Neji's the best. I think in Shippuden he's better. Yeah, because in Shippuden. Ooh. I didn't like Neji till Shippuden, and it's because that's when his humor started coming out, and it's like he has that sense of humor. It's like he doesn't know when to be funny, but it's like accidental like humor. Like, do you remember the episode where like the robot Naruto comes in? Shippuden. It's like a robot Naruto that Orochimaru makes. It's a filler episode, so I don't think you would remember it. Okay, well, there's a scene where they're all trying to protect Naruto from this like robot Naruto because it's like draining the Nine Tails chakra, and it's like everyone trying to fight. Like any of Naruto's friends popped up. So Gaara pops out at one point, loses to it. Neji starts doing rotation, and then the robot Naruto starts running like reverse circles around it, sends him flying, and you just see Neji peacefully in the sky, like, oh, the sky looks pretty today. And it's like humor like that. It's like, oh, that's actually funny to me. But it was filler, like I said. Okay, so towards the end, it was Sasuke versus Gaara, and that's when you see Gaara like really start tripping out. Sasuke was able to make him bleed, and wasn't the fight? Oh wait, no, the fight didn't get canceled. It was or what? No, yeah, this one that was a good fight. No, it was good. People didn't realize Shikamaru is a fucking genius. Like he knows when to like back out of a fight and when to enter a fight. Um, a little bit towards the end of Shippuden, he was less like that, but that's only because I feel like it was like during the war, so he had to be more like active. Oh yeah, no. We'll get to that eventually because okay. So towards the end, that's when Orochimaru and everyone starts attacking the village. So next arc is Konoha Crush is when Orochimaru pretty much resummon, or he's just the first version of the animation jutsu, and the village is pretty much under attack. And this is kind of gross because this kind of where a lot of people. I remember for me, people compared Michael Jackson to Orochimaru. And it's because he had the woman's face, and then he revealed his real face. The only question I have for this whole fight: why didn't he revive the fourth? Oh, that's right. Um, the first three. Oh, that's right. Their heads, like literally, like yeah, that's the kunai and it's kind of stuck in the head. Which I didn't know. Like, I found this out recently that technically it's the first version of that jutsu. Because if you look on like later on in Shippuden, which we'll get to that eventually, yeah, they look more alive. They can literally talk and everything. And yeah. Okay, so what kind of bothers me though about this, it's like the description for the arc is literally calling it a small war. I don't really consider this a war. I think it's more like an act of terrorism, and YouTube gods, please do not demonetize me for that word, but it's more of an act of terrorism because it's like this is like the Sound Village was in it, and yeah, and it's like, he snuck in there and be like, hey, we could take him out. Um, I'm talking low about this arc because like it's only 20 episodes long. Sasuke's band. Whoever else is talking, I can't hear them well. Apparently they can't hear you as good. Yeah, hold on, let me... Oh, I'm testing the audio right now. Oh, I can hear you. Yeah, just quietly, but they can hear you. Next arc, because there's not really much to say about this. 30 Kage dies. Personally, I didn't find it impactful as much as I did it like later on in Shippuden, because he just wasn't really around. Like if he was like around like 24/7, Like, put Kakashi in that place, then I would have been like, oh shit, that sucks. Like when the third Hokage died, when he did the Reaper dust off, it just yeah, I agree with you. Uh, uh, okay, so the next arc is Search for Tsunade, and it's only about 20 episodes long too. Oh, 15-ish. This is when Naruto. It this is like when Naruto learned Rasengan for the slowly learn Rasengan. I I don't know. It's I thought it was stupid. Like really, like it's just Jirai like, oh, I don't want this responsibility. I want to go be a perv. Tsunade, you take over. And then Naruto learned a signature move finally. So can we just skip this arc and just go to this? Alright, go for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Punches, yeah, like literally gets punched in the. Yeah, no, like I hate the fact that like last minute he's like, oh, I happened to do a Rasengan, boom. Um, Look, let's be honest. The only reason that arc really came out was to sell shit. Because we got the Naruto necklace and then figures that had the Rasengan. Okay, so next is Search for Sasuke mission. I thought this whole arc was fucking beautiful. Like, just the fights were so unique because every person they fought literally had them on like the brink of death, and then by the time they did fight or defeated them, their asses were nearly dead or like just exhausted. Everyone, the whole squad, the boys, like fighting, fighting the Sound Village. Capable one of like, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Drunk Lee. I forgot about that. Yeah, they just called it the medicine. Like he literally pauses. He literally pauses. What's his name? And he's like, "Hold on, I need to take my medicine." Yeah, that backfired. And then, like out of nowhere, well, I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves. Like, what was the first two fights was Kiba, right? Choji and yes, and I'm not gonna lie, that guy, I thought it was a good fight because like you just see Choji go like from like big strong into like butterfly mode, and then you end up finding out later on like in Shippuden and like Boruto, like you find out that's like his family's like signature thing. Yeah, I know. So it's like there's a legit reason why he has to eat a lot. It wasn't just because of like, oh, he's the fat guy. Um, yeah, and then what was the next one? I'm trying to remember. That's the one with the spider dude. That one I thought it was that was good because I thought Neji was legit gonna die, but then I was like, oh, it's Cartoon Network. They're not gonna kill anyone. Yeah, you kind of knew he was. Yeah. Well, my thing with Neji is like you knew he was already strong. Choji, you had no idea. And then it was Shikamaru, right? Yeah, no. Okay, we'll get to that, but let's start with Shikamaru. I thought that one was good because that really shows like, well, I liked it because it really shows like Shikamaru's intelligence and patience in the fight. Because if you think about all the other ones, it's like they just went in like fist, like they had strategy, but it was like most of it was like just punchings and like they went in bronze. Shikamaru had to really. Okay, which one do you? Okay, Neji strategized because the dude knew. Well, yeah, yeah. The other reason why I agree with you on that one is because like the dude knew the Hyuga's like blind spot. But let's see, and then Kiba I thought was kind of I didn't honestly I didn't like the design of the guy that like was able to split in two. Yeah, I didn't like it, and then I thought it was cool that Kiba got like stronger or is it Kiba right? Am I okay? Make sure I'm saying the right names. I thought it was cool, like but at the same time, it felt like all the other people before him were just kind of like doing better. And also too, like, oh, so the other reason why I kind of had an issue with it, it's like, I think the whole fart thing made the like producers like, okay, we need to like show off like, oh, he's capable of doing stuff too. So what were you gonna say? Yeah. 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 That is very true. Also, I wanted to point out, Tamari Deska eventually does show up. Yeah, they all show up for the individual fights. So then we get to Naruto's fight, or his first fight. I thought it was boring. I mean, it was cool. He really could have, but like, you get a plot, and it's like, ah, man, I don't know. Well, I mean, it was cool because that's like the first time you do see him do like the multi shadow clone jutsu. But at the same time, it's like, oh, cool, you got a new move, but you're not doing shit with it because your clones are getting wiped out. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, and then Garo shows up out of nowhere. Well, technically we knew, which technically we knew he was showing up because obviously they showed the other siblings, and then finally we got Naruto versus Sasuke. Yeah, you really do, and I'm very nostalgic for this one because I think just the art got better at points because I've seen the memes. Um, yeah, guys, if you ever get yeah, don't ever pause Naruto like in a fight scene, especially like a high end fight scene. But so this is where a lot of true fans do agree. This is where Naruto ended. Like if you're not counting filler, like the other 100 episodes they released after this, a lot of people believe Naruto should have ended right here. And where he, yeah, okay, I agree with you. I think where it should have ended is where Naruto's in the hospital, Jiraiya like mentioning the training and all that, like he's going on like, going on like whatever to go like leave the village. I think he should have left where he from the hospital like maybe a couple days after, and then them leaving to go train. because everything else was just kind of weird. And even at one point in the filler, they bring back Sasuke. Yeah, oh, it was like I just remember some dude had like a lightning sword. I think it's the same episode you're talking about, the one where like it was like someone racing, and then all of a sudden Sasuke back in like my little small brain like, why the fuck is Sasuke back? Okay, so now if we're not counting filler, we are in Shippuden, and the first arc is when Naruto comes back and they go to the Sand Village, and they fight Sasori. There's so many. Dater, there you go. Yeah, yeah, Dater. I thought it was Dada, but it's Dater. Um, I I did too, and I've heard some English translations do call him that. Um, so okay, so forgive me, internet, for this. I was introduced from Naruto Shippuden through Disney XD. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but the whole first arc of, I think like the first two arcs, no, maybe the first three, was on Disney XD, and it was super heavily censored. Like no blood, no cursing, like certain like things was like blurred out, or like if there was someone getting stabbed or like someone bleeding, it would be like almost like a negative color, like a negative filter color. It was bad. But eventually I did rewatch all of Naruto Shippuden. Thank God there's like apps for that nowadays. I thought it was genius. I thought the first arc was very genius because it took us away from like the familiar settings, because if you think about it, majority of Naruto is around like the Leaf Village. And like, yeah, they go here, there are places, but anytime they did travel was either filler or wasn't that far from the Leaf Village. This is like them going a whole other state-ish country. Garo died. I thought that was interesting, but and then yeah, I was not expecting that. Especially because you find out like he's Kazekage. What I didn't like is how they mentioned like, oh, Naruto went to go train. He's trying to learn how to control the Nine Tails, and they do tell you this, like, you know, Naruto trained, and you know they mention like, you know, he's gotten somewhat control, but the first moment he gets pissed, it's like he loses control. And like, I think when they were fighting, when Kakashi and Naruto were like chasing Dara, he nearly went four tails. And like, I understand their reasons, but like, you know, for plot and like also like to sell stuff, but at the same time it's like, don't build up your character just to knock it down. I don't know, any other opinions on this arc? Go for it. Yeah. Yeah, no, Grandma Chio literally like puppeted her to dodge most of it. That's like saying like I'm getting most of my views from my Muppet, even though it's just a Muppet and I'm controlling it. You know, the sad part is like later on, technically, I guess you all call it spoilers. Grandma Chio does come back. Like she gets revived. Like, and she still kicks ass. So for those who are like, oh, it was all Sakura, it was her win or whatever. No, it was Grandma Chio. Okay. Okay. So the next arc is pretty much when they first introduced Sasuke, or no, introduced Sasuke, introduced Sai, and this is when Naruto went four tails on the bridge. So yeah, so this arc, I have a big issue with it. It's, I think it's cool. I think a lot of the concepts cool, but they were jamming in too much stuff at once. So first you get introduced like, okay, here's your new replacement team member, and they were being an asshole to Sai. You're like, oh, you're not Sasuke. You know, you're not Sasuke. Um, I thought it was. Yeah, I never at one point he's like, oh, I'm trying to be like him, or like he never once said, oh, I want, like, you know, I'm the new Sasuke. Um, yeah. Um, which I'm did happy that even before like the whole bridge arc started where they fight Orochimaru, or mainly Naruto, I'm happy they did like introduce some, like, you know, Sai, and they did like a couple episodes with him before we just jumped into a major thing. Um, so the bridge battle, I don't know how I feel about it. It's good. It was a lot to take in because it's like we knew about the tells. We knew that Naruto could lose shit, but it goes up to the concept of, like I said earlier, where it's like they build up this hype where Naruto trained, Naruto like got somewhat control over it, but then you just see him flip shit when they mention Sasuke's name. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, Yamato. And like even at that point too, where like Naruto's literally destroying shit, which I don't know how he didn't get in trouble for it. And what's it called? And then even at one point after the fight, like Sakura basically does get hurt. Like she gets her arm like scratched or whatever. Um, yeah, like, you know, he didn't know. And then like what bothers me about all of this, and I hear like people debate about this. What bothers me about all of this is they still have the energy to go to Orochimaru's hideout and almost be into a conflict with Sasuke. It's like, no, like you showed him go into these forms before and be completely drained. So it's like it's very retcon, where it's like, okay, is it draining him? Is he gonna be okay? You know. And then I did like how they introduced Sasuke. That was tense. Yeah, and he was the only one hesitant not to hurt him. That's what I liked about it. Oh yeah, I believe it. Yeah, he's like, hey, we still need him, you know. Um, what's it called? So yeah, I think the way they introduced, but it's just like I said, it's just a lot to take in through this season. Um, it's just because you went from getting a new partner, turning into a new form, which we technically had a hint of it on the previous season, and then Sasuke getting reintroduced. It's a lot. Okay, so the next arc is pretty much Akatsuki mission. So this is like when you see Asuma die. You see, oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty much, and then Naruto learning the wind style, Rasen Shugen. Um, I thought that was impactful. Like Asuma dying, that was sad. But at the same time, it's like unless you like watch like the OVAs or anything, you were not gonna know about his powers. Yeah, Hidan's, you were not gonna know about his powers unless you like either were like, and like unless you watched it through and through, or you watched like the OVAs, because they did release an OVA where it's like them forming the Akatsuki, and he tried using that power on. What is the guy, like the dude that has like all the black screen like strings in him? Yeah, he tried using that. Yeah, he tried using that power on him, and it just did not work. Or I think it worked, but just didn't. Like it worked, but it didn't like superly hurt him. And like it's like unless you watch that OVA ahead of time, it's like you weren't gonna know his power. So that's why it was a shock for me. But at the same time, it was ruined because Disney XD censored it.
I mean, but also, like, isn't that the reason why they don't want to be censored?
Yeah, because you can't be affected by it. Oh, someone asked if we're gonna talk about the Naruto movies. Um, that's a topic for another time.
Yeah. I mean, because already Naruto and Naruto is a lot.
Yeah, guys, like we're already like an hour in, I think, and yeah, I will say like nearly an hour, 30 minutes, an hour in, and we're barely just touching the tip of Shippuden. Um, but yeah, no, I think both like the first two Akatsuki, they truly, well, not counting like Itachi and I did not remember any of the Akatsuki's names.
Wait, which one?
The shark dude,
Oh, Kisame?
Kisame, there you go. Technically, they were the first two introduced, but you didn't really know back in the day. Like they were part of the Akatsuki. Like they dropped the name, but like we didn't know what it was. So I truly like with this arc right here. I think this is the true like sense of okay, the Akatsuki are on the move. Like they're actually doing stuff now.
Yeah.
My other complaint about, or I guess like a complaint I have, this is like Shikamaru's time to shine. Like they should have made him, like yeah, they focus on it, and it's like yeah, it was cool. Naruto was training, he got a new move, but it's like towards the end of it, it's like the focus went from Shikamaru to straight up Naruto, and it was cool. Yeah, Naruto learned to move or whatever, but it's like you had multiple other ninjas there. There's other ways that if I could have ended it. Like if Shikamaru was able to take on one by himself, I'm pretty sure Choji was Naruto. Well, that one's good. I agree like with you on that one. But I'm saying the other fight though, where it's Naruto and Kakashi and all them, they didn't do shit. Like I mean, yeah, Kakashi. Well, towards the end though, I'm talking about when Naruto did the wind style thing. Plot. That's what I'm saying. Plot stepped in. Like I could literally picture Shikamaru. Like if he would have caught up on time. Like say, okay, an alternate world where like Shikamaru finishes the fight, runs up there. They could have used Shikamaru in the fight. Easily shadow possession jutsu. Choji could have gone butterfly form. Ino could have like trapped his mind, and then they could have easily done something. But no plot. But plot. Okay. Bandai wants to sell their figures. Okay. Okay, so this next one, wow, I didn't realize how long, or this was a little mini arc. Okay, so this is Itachi versus Sasuke.
Oh gosh, yeah. That fight it started off weird. Just because like Sasuke didn't even know how to talk to Itachi.
Well, I thought it was weird too because like if you think about the beginning of the fight, like Itachi was not even trying.
No, he wasn't. And the thing is, Itachi was already basically like still at 110% maybe.
Yeah,
But Itachi's goal for Sasuke was to get rid of the Orochimaru person
yeah.
before he died. That was all he was wanting. He
Mhm.
wanted to die knowing that Sasuke still hates him.
See, we can touch back on that topic later because I have something to say about that. Because like something they do, like I guess you would say, like introduce later on in Shippuden. Um, I thought the fight was good. I thought it was strange that all of a sudden Itachi was sick. Um, Other than that, if I had to like, I thought the end freaked me out. Like we're just like Itachi just kind of like puts his fingers like on Sasuke. It not like a freak out as in like oh like just like freaking me out. I thought it was like oh my god he's actually dead. That's when we first get introduced to Susanoo. That I'm happy they brought that back, but it's because it's like the concept. It makes you think like If he had these powers the whole time, he could easily just wipe out the whole village. Let's see, Jiraiya, or the Tale of Jiraiya. That was sad.
Jiraiya, yeah, it was sad, but I don't really like Jiraiya very much. I think it's different. I know
My,
some people would be like, what the heck is happening?
I know I can just see the comments right now, just firing up. See, the thing is, y'all, y'all can say stuff to her, but most likely it's gonna be on me because it's my channel. The Tale of Jiraiya was sad, but to the point where it's like, I feel like Naruto got over the whole thing of like Jiraiya dying way too fast.
It was so quick. It was like the quickest thing ever.
Which technically in Naruto they sort of like redeem him for that because he'll go like visit the grave and put the noodles and other stuff. And I don't know if this list goes up to Naruto, but I do like the fact that like in Naruto he does have Jiraiya's belongings because there is a whole there is a whole arc or like a mini episode in Naruto where Naruto and Sarah discover Jiraiya's books. And Naruto took it away, and then they're trying to like find out this whole make out paradise, but that's off topic. So this is also where Naruto's training for stage mode. I thought it was cool because it's like introducing other types of chakra, which later on they do touch up on that, and it does pay off later. But at first I thought it was just kind of like, which I've said about every other form, like it just, I figure it's like, oh, to sell. Let's see. So next is the pain arc. So I thought this is the most, I thought it was the most badass thing because like out of all the villains we've talked about or like mini arcs, he's the only one that had the balls to like just go up to the village and just blow it up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Orochimaru, that's what Orochimaru wanted to do. It did not succeed. But, you know.
Yeah, no, like Rain's the only one that straight up said, you know what, boom.
No, yeah, but it wasn't even Nagato. It was, what's his name? I mean, no, Yasuko is the orange hair guy.
Yeah.
Nagato is Sasuke.
We're not there yet. We're talking about pain.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spoilers. But like I said, like it's just like with all like Orochimaru was capable of doing it, but my own opinion on Orochimaru, I think he's a bitch. And excuse my language for this, but it's like the moment he realized, oh, this dude's stronger than me, he'll back out or try to kiss your ass.
Yeah, I mean, Orochimaru was just like the, starting of the, antagonist. But he wasn't really the, antagonist that we all would think he was until, like, we saw the actual,
Yeah.
people who were going to actually kill the villains.
Oh, I just got a funny comment. Someone said, "Are we?" They said, "Are we gonna talk about how? Are we? They said, "Are we gonna talk about all the ninjas that got done dirty in Boruto?"
Oh my gosh.
If y'all want that,
You know what? There were so many.
if y'all want that, we'll do a video on the movies and then our opinions on Boruto. But so the whole pain fight, I legit I thought Naruto was gonna turn into the Nine Tails.
See, that's the thing. This is where it's like there's two villains, but it's like nearly killing everybody. This is the reference I was making earlier on. That the whole village can get destroyed. A billion people can get dead. And Naruto chooses this time to be like, persuasion no jutsu. I am different no jutsu. Like,
Yeah, I
are
know.
you serious?
Oh, big aspect though. We do find out the fourth Hokage is Naruto's father, which was always obvious. Um,
Yeah, the yellow hair.
but this goes back to my conflict where it's like, okay, if he knew this, why didn't he bother looking up his stuff? He could have had a nicer house. Um, okay, so next we're at the five Kage Summit. So when Sasuke attacks the five Kage Summit, not
Hold
so.
on, you bitch. This
Oh.
house is literally where Nagato and
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sasuke
I'm
died.
sorry. I thought that part was boring.
No, that part was
in love with him.
And that was the time Kakashi died. All of these other ninjas died. But it was when Naruto went up to him and was like, "I love you, Naruto," and that's when he wanted to take the string out.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the next day he forgets Hinata even confessed anything to him. So Naruto did her dirty. Like right there.
Um, but yeah, no, the Naruto part was just kind of like it. It was stupid. It's like if he didn't have that book, he wasn't gonna revive anyone.
No.
But it's like no, he's
And
like,
then he
oh, you going?
literally had to talk him out of killing him by destroying his book.
Which technically, yeah. So at this point too, it's like, which I don't. Do they ever mention that he's Uzumaki?
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay, well, fun fact, and we'll get onto this. Like I think like in probably two more arcs, Uzumakis lose their red hair when they die. But overall, like I said, I thought it was decent. Like I don't know. It just the end, just kind of like the whole like, oh, don't do this. Be a better person. Be a hero. It just kind of like,
Help your friends.
yeah. So fun fact, I used to what's her name, Conan, I think, the blue hair chick.
Conan.
Yeah, middle school dude, biggest crush. I was like, I thought she was type. She was waifu back then.
Waifu.
Um, okay, so now we're at the five Kage Sonic. This is where my opinions on Sasuke really shifted. Because this is when he just starts acting like an asshole. He gets his eyes transferred. It's when he first makes his team. We get introduced to Killer Bee. A lot of fights happen in this season or this arc, and one of the biggest bullshit lies happen.
Which one?
Where Sakura was like, "Hey, I love you. Don't chase after Sasuke no more."
Oh my god, that was so cringy and triggering.
Yeah, no, that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna let you rant. Go for it.
Okay, so how is it that she always has said she's smarter than Naruto, right? And she thought, I'm still smarter than Naruto. Let me pull a fast one on him. And Naruto literally was like, Sasuke, you're literally calling me this. Oh, you love me now. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Why are you lying? And
Yeah.
Sasuke's like, I'm not lying. He's like, yes you are. And then he stopped talking to her.
See, the funny thing is, like, everything I'm mentioning right now, like, because, like I said, at the time, they didn't, in the US, they didn't produce, like, Naruto Shippuden on TV at the time. So, like, I only read it to the manga, and when I read that, I thought it was complete bullshit. I was like, dude, you don't love him.
No, yeah.
But the other thing I was annoyed too is, like, this is when everyone's like, oh, I gotta be as strong as Naruto, or I want to catch up to Naruto. Um, the only one I believed out of everyone that said that was Shikamaru. And that's when Shikamaru slowly realizing, like, oh, I want to help. It's not when he fully realized it, but like, he's like, oh, like, I want to like do more, like, later on with the village and help Naruto. I know towards the end that's when he like fully realizes it, but it's like Kiba was so annoying in this part because even at one point they were trying to distract Sakura and Naruto away from me, like trying to convince Naruto to come back, and it's like I was triggered. Um,
Yeah.
This is when we get introduced to Killer Bee. I love Killer Bee.
Okay, when I first saw Killer Bee, I thought he was annoying because he was like, oh man, forever or something like that. And I'm like, can you stop rapping for like 2 seconds? And then your older brother, I think that's his older brother,
Uh,
the Raikage, was when he ended up being 8-tails and the rapping, a bad rapping style.
I love everyone just like cheering for this right now. So on my channel personally, I have jokes with the Hokage because I like several months ago, we did this thing called JSU, which is a tournament for Naruto on my channel. Rock Hage literally destroyed everyone. It got to the point where we had to do an episode within an episode because we did a tournament, like we did a CPU battle, highest difficulty. We put randoms. Rock Hage destroyed everyone. So when they first introduced him, I already knew he was intimidating, but man, the fact that he was able to chop off his own arm, it's like, that's amazing. And then still kick ass. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Because I wrote down some things. I thought it was interesting that this kind of when Sasuke did join the, and I quote, Akatsuki, because, you know, Toby or whatever his name is, she's like, oh, I'm Madara Uchiha, and you, this is kind of when he starts telling him about, like, about the Uchihas and all that. He's like, and then he temporary, I'd say he temporarily joined the Akatsuki because technically they were technically dispatched because everyone died at that point, right? So yeah, no, so this arc was good. I think Sasuke's a little shit through the whole thing. I'm sorry for. No, I will stay strong. Yeah, no, the fact that he thought he could just go in and take out all the Hokages like nothing, like that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And it just like this whole arc, I think he's stupid. Like I get it, you're power hungry, you're like whatever, and it's just like it's very stupid.